శ్రీగురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. You see, you must have known Thomas Alva Edison, a great and famous scientist. Some people say he has failed 2000 times, and some others say he has failed 10,000 times and all that. And there is no way to measure, but he was trying to invent storage batteries. So in that process he has failed a number of times. See, for right now we cannot imagine a life without batteries, but in those days there were no batteries, only electricity, and it was available. So if it works, things will work, and if something happens to the supply of the electricity, things will not work. So Mr. Edison thought that if this energy of electricity can be stored and without interruption, we can continue to work. So he was trying to find out the storage batteries to store the power. So you see, in the process he has failed many times. So one of his friends has come and said like this to Mr. Edison. See, how does it look for a famous scientist like Thomas Alva Edison to work continuously on the, in spite of the failures? How does it, how can you justify your continuance or perseverance in spite of the failures? Then Mr. Edison replied like this: failure? What do you mean by failure? What are you talking about failure? It is not a failure. I have found 10,000 ways how a storage battery cannot be made. So you see, the perseverance, the determination, in spite of the setbacks in his experiments, he was continuing to experiment to find out the process of inventing storage batteries. So when that is the position, one day when Thomas Alva Edison was sitting outside a thatched shed where he used to carry out his experiments, and where all the observations, all the recordings of his experiments, because in those days he used to record manually as there were no computers. So all those records pertaining to his observations of the experiments were all there in that thatched shed. So one day when he was sitting outside under a tree, the thatched shed caught fire, and all his records were also being burnt. So just he was seeing the fire. So at that time his son has come from backside and put his hands on the shoulders of his father and asked the father like this, "Daddy, are you feeling as your lab and records are getting burnt?" Then Alva Edison turned to the son and told him like this, "My dear son, you know what I am feeling? I am feeling that all my mistakes are being burnt now in this fire. Now I will start afresh with vigor and determination increased manifold." That's what the reply he told the son. Now the point which I am trying to convey is what we have to realize from the life of Thomas Edison. See, the zeal, the determination to continue the work in the process of inventing the storage batteries is indeed laudable and has to be highly appreciated. See, experiments do fail, because when you start the experiments on a certain issue in the scientific field, they are not sure about the results. So when you are sure about the results, about the end result of any kind of work, then it cannot be called as experiment. It will be called as experience, because you know the end result and you started the work. So there is a lot of difference between the experiment and the experience, because when, especially in the scientific field, the results of the experiments are unknown, because they get an idea and they try to experiment that practically in the lab, and finally after facing so many ordeals in the process of invention, finally the result as expected or as anticipated by them may come or may not come. So that is the determination one should have in the field of research or science, or for that matter in any activity. So one should not be afraid of the failures, especially in the areas like research and other important areas of activity. So, at one stage or other, one has to wake up, because normally suppose we participate in debates and we lost to the other in the debate. It does not mean that we have failed. See, it is the failure is an event. I will do it again and then try to improve upon of what has happened, and whatever the inadequacies noticed, and then I will try to rectify and then participate with double vigor next time to win over the debate. So, I lost the debate, but I have not failed. This should be the determination of anyone who is in the process of success. So, success means basically meeting our expectation. We set ourselves certain standards or certain parameters or certain expectations, and then we move forward. So, when we meet our expectations, we feel we have achieved success and we are successful on the path. Suppose we face some kind of failure in the process, then we feel that we are we get disappointed and we hesitate to move forward. But see, in the path of success, perseverance, determination and the firm view to move forward with the double vigor is required. So, when you are not afraid of the failure and when you continue the efforts, your success is certain in any area of activity, despite the number of failures. So, you see, Mr. Abraham Lincoln, who was one of the famous presidents of USA, said that my glory lies in dusting myself whenever I fall down, and I rise with firm determination and double vigor in that situation. So, similarly, Swami Chinmayananda, a famous sage, has said that my glory lies in falling and rising again and again. So, he further said, my glory does not lie in never falling, but in rising whenever I fall. So, the point which I am trying to convey is that so many people, great people, whether in business or in other areas of activity, they are not afraid of the failure. They continue with the firm determination. So, even and in life also, when such a situation happens, how do you respond to the such kind of situation and in those contexts of failures? See, there is a beautiful word which is called resilience. Resilience. So, whenever you fall, you rise, you try again and again till you succeed. So, great people are in that path of resilience. They are not afraid of failures. So, when life puts you down and when you rise from that fall many times, then the life will think and allow you, because it thinks like this: this fellow is falling down many times, but still he is rising. Now let him succeed. I will not put him down in any situation. That's what the life thinks and allows you to be successful. So, the mercy of the Lord, the grace of the Lord flows into such kind of lives where they put all their efforts, they feel the success and they believe that success lies in putting the efforts to the maximum extent they can in any area of activity. So, success means for an individual putting his efforts to the maximum extent according to his potential. That is the success. So, when he puts such kind of effort with his full potential, then the divine grace flows and the result, whatever the result, it is beyond his imagination. So, such is the grace of divinity in life. So, I wish you all the success. Thank you.